Hey, beautiful people, let's go. So, you may wonder what I got going on here. I'm trying to help a new artist figure out what she needs. So, this is a doll kit, but it's just for demonstration. When you get the kit, it's like, I've already neutralized this somewhat. It's got this peachy color, so you want to like neutralize that. You have a blank slate. So, you're going to need some titanium white, and blue. And you mix that up and you get like a really, really pale blue to take away that orange peachy. You got your color wheel, which I'm not good at. You can look this color wheel up online. You don't actually have the real thing. So it tells you, the doll kit starts off like peach. You go straight across from there, and it would be blue. See. Here's a better illustration. You can actually understand what this says. So if your kit is like so your kit's usually like that color peach right there, and you go straight across from that wheel. So your paint would be this color. That cornflower blue here. I think I had a little bit. It's a little bit darker. Whatever. You know what I mean? You'd go across, and so your kit would be this, like a little bit like that. So you'd want your paint to be between them two. So, you see what I'm saying? Anyway. So that's why you would have these two colors. And then to paint your ears, the inside of the ears, I usually go with some warm blush. I know that's just not what that's supposed to be. Sometimes I use this baby skin. Just sometimes I add in some that's red. You could always add in the white. Anyway, let me show you what that was. Warm blush. I get my paint from Genesis, so I'm not quite sure what that comes out to be on their regular colors. Anyway, then there's a baby skin. It's I don't know what color you'd say that is. You're asking the wrong person. Name colors. Anyway, like a cream. Anyway, then red. Red's red. Then depending on what I'm doing, the pug dogs have browns. Brow brown looks pretty good. Burn umber's a good one here. Like got this a fudge like a yellow brown. And then I like a Mars black. Of course, it's just black. And then sometimes you got like especially for pugs or sometimes like tabby marking, you'd want to use some yellow or for the darker stripes on the tabby. See, thank you, Tabby, for coming along. See, yellow ochre. See, you wouldn't go with the straight yellow because that's way too bright. You mute that down with some of that white, or titanium white. So you mix that, and some of that ochre. What is that? I can't read either. Focus. So you mix them three colors to get that yellowy cream look. And there's the stripes there. Put in the fudge brown. She's like, would you stop? And of course, you got to have some sponges. Anyway, after you get the whole thing painted, like you don't want to keep adding on layers of paint after especially after your neutralizer. You want to put like neutralizer on it, and then you put it in your new wave oven here. This one's cracked all to pieces there. I heard people say that when it's got the yellow plastic top, it holds up better, but I don't know about that. I mean, from personal experience, I have never had one with yellow top, so I can't really say if that's true or not. I just know mine cracks. Still got to repair that big crack coming in. Anyway, it'll be fine. It keeps running. And anyway, you paint and you bake and you paint and you bake, you paint and you bake, you know. Paint, let it dry, bake it, let it cool, paint, let it dry, bake, let it cool, you know. Pretty much. It's time consuming. And then after you get it looking the way you want it to look, then that's when the matte varnish comes in. Matte varnish. And the paper glaze for the shiny, the shiny spots around the ears, the nose, the paw pads, the nails. Now this is important. What I was gonna say. When you're regularly using the paint and you want to just add thin layers, you need to thin it down with some Mona Lisa Earless paint thinner. This is what I use. I don't know what everybody else uses. But when you're painting, if you want the paint to be a thicker texture, let's see. You want it to be thicker. This is not matte varnish, by the way. This is some other paint I've mixed up. Hang on a second. I can't open it with one hand. Alright, so if you want your paint to have a thicker texture, but still thinner than the regular paint. Let's just open that one too. Sorry about that. See, this paint's really thick, but if you want it to be thinner, but not as thin as with the Mona Lisa, then you're going to need some thin and medium. And I usually mix it about 50-50. 50% thin and medium and 50% paint. Now this paint doesn't dry up. That's why it's still wet. And the fact that I have sealed it up also keeps it from drying up. I also use the baby fruit jars to save paint. Although I didn't get this on tight, now it's dried up. It'll be fine. When you seal it all in, I like to use the thin and medium. Oh shoot, I don't have to turn them over. The matte varnish and a thin and medium, 50-50, to seal your paint in. And then after you get done with your paint, your varnish, then you want to use the cheapest brush you can get. Not your good paint brushes. This is a texture brush. This is a paint brush. Because this paper glaze will ruin the brush after one use. That brush will be trashed. So that's why I get the cheap ones. Well, oh yeah, you probably need an X-Acto knife to cut the eyes open, because when you, I'll show you. When you're heat setting your paint, if you set this doll head straight down inside the oven, just like that, when you set down like that, you set that doll's head straight down and like that, and you're heat setting it, 365 for 8 minutes. Especially if you have a blanket or something down in there, the air gets inside, it expands, heat expands, and it's a good possibility that your vinyl may crack. That's a cat hair. Your vinyl may crack or expand out and melt if it's too close to the element at the top. That had to happen. Alright. So this is a closed eye sculpt, so I would lay it on the side so the air can come out when it's baking. What I also like to do is take this X-Acto knife and cut the eyes on the cats and dogs, so that way it doesn't pop. Okay. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I just use cheap materials, so your paint rack, I just used a styrofoam circle with some wooden chopsticks hot glued in there. They sell fancy bottle racks other places, but you don't really need that. And of course, you gotta get you some polyfill to stuff it with. This is Walmart, just a cheap one. I put in the limbs. I use like the Angel Silk from Bountiful Baby for the body, and then I get this also from Bountiful Baby, the glass beads for weight. They sell them by the 1 pound packages here. Okay, what else? What else we need to talk about? Mouse? She's like, I don't know. Depends, I guess. I guess it does. Sometimes you might want to get a few extra zip ties in case things happen. Good to have some extra zip ties. I got this thing out of a box of little medications. I'm gonna use as a paint tray. Yeah, anything works. You don't have to have expensive art material to make art. Alright. So, I found storing the Mona Lisa in this bottle would be easier instead of pouring out that thing every time. Storing that. I don't know what else you want to know, so anyway, it is what it is. What do you got to say there? What do you got to say? What do you got to say? Hey, baby, you want to paint something? Nah, not right now. Me either. I'm gonna take a break for about a month, and then we'll get back to painting in April. We'll probably paint again in April. What do you think? April sounds good to her. I'm gonna put these things away. I'm gonna upload this. Oh, I was gonna do some video from the internet too. Hang on.